Hi Leo, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.TarotbyAnisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity, be it in your love lives or your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. Leos, it's a big month. We have Uranus, that is moving signs, it's changing signs. It's been in Aries for the last 7 years, and now it is moving to Taurus for the next 7 years. And depending on which part of your chart it is going to be aspecting, that's the place where you can expect a lot of chaos, a lot of unpredictability. And Uranus typically also is known as a wild boy of astrology. Now, while Uranus is associated with rebellion, it's also working along with Saturn at this point of time, which is a complete contrast to it. And Saturn is the teacher planet. It's all about restriction. It's about structure. It is the teacher planet. And Uranus is unconventionality. It's energy, the Uranian energy, you cannot harness it. And it revels in being unpredictable, chaotic. Now, the good thing about the Uranian energy is that a lot of it rules the humanitarian causes, it rules the internet, and it also brings about a lot of inspiration. So for the next 7 years, though it's going to be a mixed bag, because Taurus is it's an earth sign. It's all about grounding. It's about structure. It's about boundaries. And Uranus is, like I said, it's working along with Saturn. And Saturn also is all about restriction and limitations. And it wants a lot of effort. And Uranus doesn't understand any of this. It wants to do what it wants to do. It wants freedom at all costs. And at times when when Uranus is afflicted in your chart, it can bring about a lot of risky behavior. You may just put yourself in situations which can endanger you. You may take decisions which are not so wise, and they can affect your well-being. It may also make you quite impetuous. You may just find yourself doing and saying things which are, you may just look back and say, really? Did I do that? So while it's okay to blame a little bit of this on the Uranian energy, the interesting bit of it, like I said, there's also the Taurian energy, which is grounding, which is confining. So there's going to be quite a dance with Taurus and Uranus, one wanting freedom at any cost, the other trying to contain it, and so on and so forth. Let's break down the month for you, Leos. We are opening the month with Pluto and Mars, and they are conjuncting in your house of day-to-day work. It has to do with your daily chores, and it also has to do with your health. Now, Pluto is he's the god of underworld. He's not happy about knowing what's really happening on the surface. So if there has been stuff that has been going on around your work, maybe something that's not been working, or it's been too mundane, or it's been too repetitive, or there's a kind of restlessness that you feel about it, Pluto is going to be digging those issues out from under the surface, and it'll dig deep, and it'll make you also look at it and say, I'm not happy with the superficial excuses that you're making, and saying, this is not the reason why I like my work. Mars, however, along with it, is going to be, it may increase your restlessness as far as your work is concerned. You may just get this thing of, I need to be doing something else. Maybe I need something more. Or in certain cases where you're happy with the work and the work has been going on smoothly, it can bring about a momentum, sort of a burst of energy where you will be quite enthusiastic. You would want to close deals quickly. You would want to sort of move on to the next stage now, next what. Now we have Mercury, which is joining Sun, and this is happening in your house of career, and Mercury thankfully is direct now. So a lot of conversations regarding your work, regarding your reputation, how it is that the world perceives you at large, how it is that you perceive yourself as far as your work is concerned. And on the 15th we have a new moon that is set in your house of work, And then of course on the 16th we have Uranus, and he's rolling into your house of work, career, reputation for the next 7 years, Leo. So quite a big haul. Now this is very, very interesting. Now let's look at first Mercury and Sun that have rolled in over here. A lot of conversation, maybe a different career, maybe wanting to throw this up completely what you're doing and get into entirely into a different field. For some of you, it could even mean changing location. So if you have been doing, say, you've been associated with a certain industry, say, for example, if you've been doing marketing, you may just throw it up and you may say, no, I want to make movies. And, or if you've been making movies, you may just want to throw it up and you say, I want to go to that ashram in the Himalayas, and I want to go and live the rest of my, next 7-8 years and, seek more. Now, while it may seem dramatic and it may, seem like, at least to the people around you, that, oh my God, how drastic. But these changes or these decisions or things that's going on with your workplace, it's something that is really new. I think the restlessness has been there for a long time. For some of you, especially where your sun, moon, ascendant is all there in Leo, specifically for you. This is a time where there is this sense of, I want to change my work. And this also has to do with your reputation. It has to do with how it is that people are perceiving you. So there could be this wanting just to change your image, or for some of you, you may just go completely professional if you've been working in a very haphazard, in a very freelance way. This is the time that you'll say, no, I want to change my image. I want people to take me seriously. I want to be really doing this. So for the next 7 years, it's going to be bringing about a lot of different projects. I think sticking to one particular job, a steady thing, could be an issue for some of you. It could mean different. It can be that yes, you stay on in the same company and you're just moving locations, you're having too many different projects in the same organization. That may happen as well. And you could be asking a lot of these questions, what is the purpose of my work? What is the purpose that I am, doing or bringing to the table? And like I said, because Uranus also has to do with, it deals with humanitarian issues. So it's, how it is that you are contributing through your work. It's not going to be any longer being sitting behind your desk or saying, remotely I can be behind my laptop and it doesn't touch me. These are the next few years will see you get more involved and not just sort of sit at the sidewalks and, just let things happen, but be more involved. On the 20th, we have Venus that is moving into your house of behind the scenes, and it's a house of service. This is the place where we go and recharge our emotional batteries. So it's a great time for solitude. It's a wonderful time to meditate. Great time to be going for some yoga retreat, do some vipassana, just be in nature and journal. There's a lot of times, I see where when we are necessarily, we don't have to seek, it's not the only time that you need your own time. But, and I think being in nature somehow brings about that more, when you're just hearing the birds chirp, when you're just quiet, just the rustle of the trees, the leaves, when you're just walking, whether you're in a forest or in the hills. I think that, at least I've seen that for myself, it brings about a lot of clarity in the stuff that has been going on in my mind. I think just being in silence, in solitude with the nature around you, it makes your mind unravel and go back more deeper and look at decisions that you have taken, or maybe things that are upcoming for you, and then finally reach a place of absolute calm. It's like having that still water inside you. So let your mind, give it to your mind for at least 1 or 2 days where you're just absolutely at a place where you can take a decision. And in order for you to be taking a decision, Leos, you need to have this stillness inside. On the 29th, we have a full moon, and this is there in your house of love, romance, creativity, children. And this is a time, it's a wonderful time to not just let your own inner child come out, but because it's a full moon, it's a very emotional time. Something is coming to a fruition. Either it is your idea of romance, or your thing of, that this is how good it gets. And I won't say that that there is no love, but I think at times we all have our own ideas about love, about romance, and at times we tend to idolize those a lot. We tend to sort of put them up on a pedestal and view it like, this is how it will be. And unfortunately or fortunately, as we get older, there is a far more reality of our own definition of love. And with this full moon, there's going to be an acceptance, there's going to be an understanding of really what love means to you. And because this also has to do with creativity, it could be that there's a creative project that is coming to an end. Maybe you've just finished writing a book, maybe you've just finished painting something. And this is a time where your children could also be a great source of comfort, and they could in certain cases be sort of that reason where you make the decision for good or for bad. So I would suggest take some time off, Leos, this month. Try and get to a place so that there's more stillness inside, there's more clarity, and it'll help you reach a decision. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Leos. I'll see you again soon, and thank you so much for watching.